morning, grade 7s. My name is Bonolo and my surname is Matlapeng. You can call me Mem Bonolo, Mem Matlapeng. Today we are learning about geometry of 3D objects or classifying 3D objects. So we are talking about an object that has different kinds of faces. We're not talking about a 2D object. This time around we are talking about a 3D object. Grade 7s, just to break this down, a 3D object is anything that has 3 dimensions. The 3 dimensions do include number 1, length, how long the object is. Number 2, the width, how wide it is. Number 3, the height, how tall or deep the object is. These dimensions give it volume, and volume is the amount of space it takes up. And it makes it possible to see and touch different sides of it. Remember, these dimensions give it volume. 3 keys that make a 3D object. Number 1, it has depth, unlike a flat 2D shape. Number 2, it can be measured in cubic units. For example, your centimeter cube, your meter cube. Number 3, it has faces, edges, and vertices. Vertices, which means it has corners. Through not all 3D objects, however, not all 3 objects have flat surfaces or flat faces. For example, a sphere does not have a flat face. Object or 3D shape. Firstly, you have to draw the front face. Draw a square. This will be the front face of your cube. Number 2, you have to draw the back face. Draw another square of the same size, slightly up to the right of the first one. And lastly, you have to connect the corners. So, draw straight lines connecting each corner of the front square to the matching corner of the back square. These lines form the cube's edges. And just like that, you have your cube. Object. So we are learning particularly about a polyhedra. A polyhedra, these are 3 shapes with flat faces. So for example, your cube, your rectangular, prism, your square, that is what I'm talking about. A cube, not a 2D shape where it has no sides and faces. What you need to know that is very important is that the faces are always flat and not curved. I have an argument of saying that a cylinder might not be a polyhedra because it has no any face that is flat. The only flat faces that it has are the circular shapes on top and on the bottom. So it might be a polyhedra. It might be. What you need to also learn about 3D shapes and polyhedra is that you need to know how many faces a shape has. You need to know how many number of verticals there are in a shape and how many number of edges there are in a shape. So here are the examples of a polyhedra shape. This is a rectangular prism. It's a rectangular prism because it has different kinds of faces. So therefore it makes it a polyhedra. These are the shapes that have flat faces. So as you can see, there's a flat face, there's a flat face, there are flat faces everywhere. So it does qualify as a polyhedra shape. The cube, it is considered a polyhedra shape because it does have flat faces that we can see, that our eyes can physically see, that it has different kinds of faces. Therefore it does make it a polyhedra because a polyhedra are 3D shapes that have flat surfaces. So here's my argument. This is a cylinder, right? The reason why I'm saying it's a polyhedra shape is that this here is a flat surface, here is a flat surface. Even though it is circular, it is still considered a polyhedra shape because it does have 2 flat surfaces and flat faces. Thank you. That's it from me. What I would give you guys an example of a real term or a real world example, I would say that consider you are looking or you have a dice. Probably this dice you play around with it during break, you play around it with your family and cousins. So that dice, is it considered a polyhedra shape? And I leave that to you. So what you need to do for me, grade 7s, is that go home, figure out and bring or take pictures or draw shapes that you think are polyhedra shapes. besides the shapes that I've already given you. So besides rectangular prism, besides your cube, besides your cylinder, I need you to get me shapes of objects that are considered a polyandry shape. Can I please believe and trust that you will? That's it from me. I am Bunalo Matlaping, and this was my presentation.